Hello everyone. For my remix, I decided to create an original poem written by me inspired by the early Renaissance. My poem is called Rebirth. I chose the early Renaissance because one of the biggest ideas we talked about in the lectures was the idea of rebirth. The word Renaissance literally means rebirth, and in our slides we learned that this movement began in Florence and was focused on bringing back ideas from ancient Greek and Roman culture while also creating new ideas about humanity and creativity. When I started thinking about my project, I didn't necessarily want to make something overly complicated. I wanted to write something simple that still captured what made this period important. I thought about the main themes we studied, like humanism, learning, art, and human potential. In my first stanza of the poem, I wrote about Florence and old ideas coming back. I included this because Florence was the center of the Renaissance, and it was where many artists, scholars, and wealthy families helped support learning and creativity. In the second stanza, I wrote about books, candlelight, and artists working through the night. I used this imagery because the Renaissance was a time when people studied ancient texts and tried to gain knowledge from the past while creating something new. In the third stanza, I wrote about studying people, stars, and stone. This connects to how Renaissance thinkers studied science, anatomy, architecture, and nature. It also made me think of Leonardo da Vinci, who was not only an artist but also an inventor and scientist. In the fourth stanza, I mentioned paintings, writings, and notebooks. I included this because our class discussed how Renaissance artists combined religion and realistic details. We also learned about humanism, which taught that humans are gifted by God and should strive for improvement and achievement. Finally, in the last stanza, I wanted to connect the Renaissance to today. Even though this period happened hundreds of years ago, I think the ideas still matter. People still create art, ask questions, study the world, and always try to improve themselves. My purpose in writing this poem was to show that the Renaissance was not just a historical time period, but also a way of thinking. It teaches us that learning, creativity, and human potential can shape the world. These things are still used every day, daily. Thank you,